Hi everyone, good morning. It's Margaret Manning here. Welcome to 60 and Me. Hope you're doing great this morning. It's a beautiful day here, sun is shining, and I am looking forward to a really busy, beautiful day. And I hope that you are too. And thanks for being here. Thanks for starting your day with me. And I hope that these conversations give you some tips and some inspiration to have a really productive and meaningful day. So I'm glad that we're here together. This is a very interesting time of life. We wake up every day, and I know, like most of you, I feel blessed that I have another day on this planet, and just wanting to make the best of everything. And I think it's a very complex time. We're full of lots of different emotions. We've got a lot going on. Not that everybody of all ages doesn't, but I think there's something special about life in your 60s. It's kind of heightened and intensified. So what always helps me is a cup of tea, and I've got my sweet chai this morning. Now, chai, for those of you who don't know, it's a black tea, but it's got all kinds of interesting spices. I first had chai when I was in India. And they always put lots of, cardamom and nutmeg and I don't know, whatever else in there, mystery spices. And it's a really nice drink. So I hope that you're doing well, and have a cup of tea or coffee and sit down and chat about something that I guess kind of goes with the theme I started with this morning, which is that of feeling emotional. Being an emotional person is a blessing and a curse. And, I'm sure that many of our families and friends have experienced our emotions, and, no apologies for it in many ways. We are who we are, and some people are just more sensitive than others. We just have that responsiveness to the world and to situations. And, generally, I'm pretty comfortable with my emotions. I mean, I think over time, I've learned the people that I need to control it with and the people that I can let go a bit with. And I think, your girlfriends can be helpful here, because we're all kind of understanding each other. But I think keeping emotions in balance is really important. But on the other hand, it's really wonderful to be able to express how you feel, and keeping your emotions in proportion. I think that's the most important thing. So are you an emotional person? Would you say that you're more emotional than most people you know? And how do you keep that under control? We have a blogger, her name's Shari Broder, and Shari wrote an article about this, and I wanted to just give you some of the ideas that she offers for controlling her emotions, or keeping them in check. And most of them I actually, I feel comfortable recommending, because I use them myself, and I know that in her article she put some references there that you can read, so you feel it's not just one person's ideas. But she suggests, first of all, a very practical thing related to tea. And her doctor, who's an MD, said that one of the great things to drink is matcha. Now, matcha is a green tea, and it apparently is supposed to create a calm energy. Interesting use of words, but it's one of those teas that's it's actually not the cheapest tea, and you buy it in small quantities. But it's a tea that you can mix. Like I said, it's a green tea, so it's got that kind of dry, green, herbal taste. And it's got a thing called amino acid L-theanine. And theanine is a neurotransmitter that actually helps your brain to increase the hormones that make you feel energized and good. And high-quality matcha apparently contains 5 times as much of this L-theanine than a regular green tea. Apparently it's in all green tea. So it also has caffeine. So that's an important thing to remember. And so, it helps with your focus. But if you're feeling agitated, it's one of those teas that will give you a buzz. So matcha tea is one thing to consider. And apparently, according to Shari, it actually helps your metabolism. So the magic of tea. It does all kinds of amazing things. So I have to try some matcha tea. I haven't tried that recently, so perhaps I'll try it one day this week and report back. Another thing that Shari suggests is to practice something called Qigong. Now, Qigong is actually spelled Qi-G-O-N-G, but it's pronounced Qigong. In Chinese, Qi means energy. It's the energy in your body. And Qigong is an exercise regime that helps you to really put everything in balance. I mean, they're meditative movements. They're very, like Tai Chi, they're very deliberate. and thoughtful and very powerful in the way that they ground you with the earth and allow the energy of the earth to come up through your body. Now, I'm totally oversimplifying it here because it's an art that has been practiced in China and other Asian countries for a long, long time. But it makes Shari feel happier and calmer. And I actually do know people who practice Qigong and would agree with that. I mean, it becomes a very integral part of their life. Do we have any Qigong practitioners in the community? It'd be interesting to share your thoughts on that and let us know whether it's one of those exercises that works for you. Now, another one that, of course, I'm a big fan of, which we've talked about lots of times, is yoga. Now, I think I started practicing yoga when I was 20 years old. I mean, many, many years ago. And I've always been on and off in my life. But I do at least every day try to do a little bit of yoga. And I actually do yoga before I get out of bed. We have an article in 60andMe about this, about bed yoga. But it's really important to just get some breathing and some stretching and just to it reminds you about good posture, I think, as much as anything, yoga. But anyway, she says that it kept her pain-free from joint and arthritis problems. And I remember when I was in Bali, I did a lot of exercise with yoga almost every day. And it did help. I have like lots of you, little back niggles. And it did help with that. It didn't make it go away completely. I still have to live with that, like some of you do. But anyway, it really helped me a lot. One thing that she says is to be sure to get good instruction. Now, of course, there are lots and lots of teachers out there teaching yoga, but 60andMe does have a series of yoga videos that we sell. There's gentle yoga, chair yoga, and we have a teacher called Kat Cabera, who's from Bali, and she is amazing. Now, we wouldn't have chosen someone who wasn't incredible and a really experienced teacher with older bodies, and she's worked with hundreds of people and really has a good approach. But the thing that I love most about Kat, and Shari mentions, is that a good teacher will be able to give you modifications. Like if you can't do it this way, if your body isn't ready for that, then there's another way of doing it. And Kat's videos are just filled with, that kind of advice, which I think is fabulous. And again, it's sharing. But there's lots and lots of wonderful resources, and I would encourage you, if you're interested, to check out our videos as well and see what you think. Lots and lots of women have loved them, so don't take my word for it. And finally, another thing, actually there's two more things. One is that meditation works for Shari. And I found that when I'm having an emotional moment, that is something has really touched me, upset me, maybe made me feel threatened or worried, then I will try really hard to sit down and meditate. Now, I just use a very simple breathing activity, but mindfulness meditation of all types helps the brain to sort of stop producing these chemicals that create stress and anxiety. So, and again, don't take my word, there are so many studies now on meditation and how it can help you with regulating your emotions. I think that's a good way of putting it, is not denying them, not trying to block them, but regulating them, making them something that you can live with. So I think it says it decreases brain cell volume of brain cells in parts of the brain that govern fear, anxiety, and stress. And then finally, self-coaching. Shari mentions this. I think it's super important. I used to call it positive self-talk. So self-coaching, this is where you just basically in the process try to talk yourself through, like what's the worst that could happen? Who's going to be affected by this? And talking back to yourself in a way that's reassuring. I think this is really important with fear as well. If you're fearful of something, talk to yourself as though you were talking to a child. It's okay. This is why it's happening. This is the situation. So self-coaching is a great way to regulate those intense emotions that we get. And, honestly, I celebrate my emotions because I feel like I'm connected to life at a really deep level, and it inspires me, it activates me. But maybe for you it frightens you, or you've got another set of needs. But anyway, I think that if you try to consider some of these practices to regulate and control the emotions, you might find yourself just getting on with your life, getting things done in a more positive way. So those are 5 ideas for emotional regulation and for just dealing and loving your emotions. And I would love to know what you do. When you're feeling a strong emotion about something, are you a planner? Are you a doer? Are you a crier? Are you a thoughtful person? Do you meditate, yoga? What do you do? What I love about this group, by the way, is that I know now you're going to start writing things down, and this is really cool, that you'll just write down your ideas, read each other's comments, like them, share them, respond back. You've got people's names, and just talk to each other. I just love that these videos and these newsletters are helping you to kickstart those conversations. So thanks for being here, everyone. I hope you do have a fabulous day and have a good emotional day. Feel those emotions in the right perspective. And the question is simply, what techniques do you use to manage your emotions? Look forward to your comments and look forward to joining the conversation. And I'll see you all back here again very, very soon. Take good care for now. Bye-bye.